The host of that, NFL Red Zone, is about to commemorate his 200th such episode. And he is my colleague from NFL Network and the NFL Media Group, Scott Hanson, back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Scott?
Rich, good to see you. Good to hear your voice.
Same to you,
I miss
bud.
you, man. I miss you in person.
Well, you know what?
Chris,
I'm in
Chris,
studio.
Hi, and tell Del Tufo I said hi when he gets
Scott,
back.
what's up, man?
Because
Hey.
Scott, I'm in the NFL game day morning studio, and you are in the Red Zone studio, hermetically sealed, right around 12:59 p.m. Eastern time, but out here are just shy of 10 a.m. on the West Coast, hermetically sealed, and you're not allowed to leave, right? You're not allowed to leave the room for 9 hours.
By the way, hermetically sealed before it was fashionable in a global pandemic for everything to be hermetically sealed, I'll say. You coined the phrase, I believe, that they lock Hanson in the studio and slide meals under the door every once in a while, which is only partly true. They do lock the doors, but I don't eat anything for that entire 7 hours.
No, come on now, Scott. Come on.
No,
you do.
bro,
come
no.
on. Not even some almonds. Not even a handful of almonds. Not even.
I tried to have a sandwich one time, and I had a hunk of turkey on wheat in my mouth when they're like, Des Bryant just caught a touchdown from Tony Romo, and I had to call that, and I'm like, nope. My microphone can be hot at any given second,
right?
And invariably, it will be at the most inopportune seconds. So I tried to go to a banana, like a caged monkey.
Okay.
I went to a banana. I figured quick to chew, swallow, right?
Yep.
And that banana they bring it in, and it sits there. It sits there.
It ripens. It ripens.
It ripens. It does.
Your fruit ripens. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, and it's a good consistency.
I make for the public, Rich. You make sacrifices. We all make sacrifices.
Scott Hanson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Well, part of the reason why you're so well suited for the gig, Scott, is your attention to detail and your memory and your ability to just draw upon what you've seen and what you just heard, not just from moment to moment, but from game to game, week to week, is tremendous. You got a moment for me over the last 200 episodes of when it all came down? You were quad boxing or six boxing or whatever, and all holy heck was breaking loose in the NFL. Do you remember anything over the last several years? Just like that?
I got one for you.
Okay.
I got one for you. So we came on the air in 2009.
There you go.
And there were arguably two seminal moments in NFL media history, and that is when you, good sir, came on the first ever episode of Total Access and said, I believe you have not died and gone to football heaven or something along that line, right?
Yep.
And then the first time I came on NFL Red Zone to announce welcome to the first moments of the channel that we hope changes the way you watch football forever. And it seemed like bombast at the time, hyperbole, but fans every week tell me that that's been the case. Well, one of the moments when we saw the light, when it was our 2001 A Space Odyssey moment, it's full of stars. It was week 6, 2012. And we had a triple box on.
Yes.
It was during the witching hour, right? The fourth quarter of the early window of games. And in the triple box at the bottom of the screen was a rookie quarterback by the name of Robert Griffin III breaking away. The Skins had a lead, and they were trying to ice the clock, and they needed a first down. And instead, RG3 broke away for a 76-yard touchdown run at FedEx Field, the crowd losing their mind, right? They hadn't had a franchise quarterback since Theismann, right? So they thought, oh, we got our guy. We win this game. This is everything was wonderful. 4 seconds later, in the upper right of the triple box, a rookie quarterback by the name of Russell Wilson threw a 50-some-yard touchdown pass with about 60 seconds left to go to Sidney Rice for a game-winning touchdown to beat Tom Brady head-to-head, right? This rookie third-round draft pick quarterback. 5 seconds later, in the upper left-hand corner of the triple box, the Arizona Cardinals, with a Go Blue University of Michigan former kicker by the name of Jay Feely, lined up a game-winning field goal at the end of regulation, and he stoinked it off the left upright, I believe it was, and they went to overtime. But it was bang, bang, bang in a triple box, and we were like, oh my gosh, that just happened. I think we covered it pretty well. You can that's floating around there on social media, on YouTube and whatnot, if anyone wants to relive that. But that was maybe one of the greatest moments we've had, where it was just like, wow, you saw all those things, and you would have seen none of them or just one of them if you were just watching traditional broadcast.
I love it. Scott Hanson here on the Rich Eisen Show. If I'm not mistaken, Chris, was that the "You Mad Bro" when Richard Sherman went up to Brady after the game?
I think you're right.
Because that game, I remember when Seattle and Russell Wilson beat Brady and the Patriots, it was like, okay, I think the Seahawks are something to start paying attention to, that the Legion of Boom and Russell and the Seahawks that have been in dire need of an identity outside of Pete Carroll and their burgeoning running game with obviously Beastquake needing the quarterback to add to all of that. That was a big moment for the Seahawks in their whole Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson, Legion of Boom run, Scott. That was a big moment for them.
2012, if Chris is Googling it there, just to confirm, I believe it was the You Mad Bro game. And yeah, the rest was history. Well, if you go through that triple box right there in reverse order, Jay Feely had a very, very fine NFL career and missed that kick, but it was a game-changing moment that we caught. RG3 was the moment we thought we have seen the next great franchise quarterback, because I think it was a week or two after he had the huge touchdown pass in the Superdome to beat the Saints. And remember when he ended up on his butt, they knocked him back on his butt, and he was sitting on his keister, holding up his arms in a touchdown, and there were those classic images. And with the dual threat capability that he had in his young career, we thought, wow, Washington finally has their franchise quarterback. And then Russell Wilson to beat Tom Brady was just like, what? How? What?
Right.
And it did make us stand up and take notice. And we've caught all the moments since, I mean, you talk about heck, the Hail Murray, right? Unless you had that local broadcast,
right,
you were not going to see the Hail Murray. And the laterals 2 years ago, the laterals for the Miami Dolphins with Gronk missing the tackle inside the 5-yard line to end the game.
Yep.
The Miami Miracle, right? The Buffalo Bills ending their playoff drought, the longest active drought in the NFL, 20 years of no playoffs.
Right.
They had to beat the Dolphins. They took care of business. They were down in Miami. They finished, but then like 3 minutes later, they were in the locker room, and of course the indelible image of them celebrating.
Yep.
They had to have the Ravens lose to the Bengals of all teams, and the Bengals hit the game-winning touchdown with a minute left. On NFL RedZone, we bounced you back and forth between those two moments.
Right, and then all of Western New York filled up the coffers of Andy Dalton's charity. These are just great moments to go back and forth with Scott Hanson here on the Rich Eisen Show. So how does everybody, if you will, celebrate the 200th broadcast? I mean, what do you do?
Well,
what do you got? What do you got planned?
Distant, we're going to have a flashback or two.
Okay.
There's always the flashback.
Okay.
And I had to look it up. Now, you are Mr. Pop Culture,
okay.
right?
I'll
Anyone
take
at NFL Media, I mean, everyone who watches the Rich Eisen Show already knows this, but everyone at NFL Media, if there's a pop culture question, if somebody's stumped on trivia, you hit up Eisen.
Sure.
And he can usually dig it out. Let's play a little. You got time for a little game here?
Scott, I'm always up for this, and just so everyone else is aware that in those years, and we actually reminisced about this earlier in the week. We talked about it, Jim. We talked about it earlier this week, that the Combine always falls on the weekend of the Academy Awards. And we talked about this because Dick Vermeil, the subject of Vermeil, came up and how he cried the night that Scorsese finally won his Oscar for The Departed. But the person who always, if there was ever a tie in the ensuing years, we had dozens of NFL Network staffers take part in an Oscar pool. The individual who we always turn to for the tiebreak question, Scott Hanson. So this is a role with which you're quite familiar, Scott. What you're about to play right here.
I didn't even think about that when I was devising what I'm about to ask you right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been accused or credited with being part game show host. A title I embrace.
Scott, you should. There's nothing wrong with being accused of being that. Nothing.
It's good living.
Yes, no doubt. Living, right? What's on your mind? So what do you got for me, Scott?
All right, here we go. 200 episodes of NFL RedZone.
Yes.
Right. This Sunday is episode 200. Rank these sitcoms from most episodes to least episodes.
Okay, hold on a
I'll
second.
give you 3.
Hold on a second.
Okay?
Let me get a pen here. All right.
Yeah, just 3 of them.
Please tell me one of them is MASH. Did you get me MASH? You give me MASH? Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Let's go a little bit more modern. Okay. Seinfeld.
Yep.
The Office.
Uh-huh.
The United States Office.
Yes.
30 Rock.
Okay. I will go, in terms of episodes, I will go, so it's got to be most to least episodes, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just looked it up because I'm like, well, how long did, certain sitcoms run? Did they have 200 episodes? Like, were they around there? And these 3 all are in the realm of 200 episodes.
All right.
So, but rank them. Just rank them most to least. Who
First
had the
of all,
most episodes to the least?
First of all, Scott, excellent brain tease right here. Thank you. And then 2, on brand as well, right here on NBC Sports on Peacock. We greatly appreciate you choosing these 3 shows as your choice. Well done, Scott. Right on brand. Yeah. We appreciate that. I'm going to go, Chris, you want to take part in this as well?
Sure.
I'll give mine, you give yours, and we'll see who's right.
Okay.
I'm going to go number 1, Office, number 2, 30 Rock, and I'm going to go Seinfeld 3. Chris, what do you got?
I agree with Office first. I'm going to go Seinfeld second, 30 Rock third.
What do you got, Scott?
Brockman.
You nailed it. I kind of put Seinfeld third because I thought you were throwing that in there to throw me off the scent. But you're actually straight on.
I was actually just watching 30 Rock over the weekend.
It's so good. By the way, which you can see right here on
that's
Peacock.
That's my favorite. Of all those 3, so 30 Rock is my absolute favorite. I can rewatch it. So here's the episodes. So, again, NFL RedZone 200, The Office 201.
Oh, they just got you. They just got you, Scott. They just got. Well, just wait till week 15. You'll get them. Don't worry. It's okay.
My man. Seinfeld second, 180. 180. And that's including the 2-hour special at the end, all that type of stuff. And then 30 Rock, 138. They packed a lot of humor into that 138 for 30 Rock.
I guess, and just to bring this all full circle, one of our favorite moments in the history of our old podcast was a 30 Rock producer-writer telling us the story of how RG3, after he got drafted second overall in Radio City Music Hall, strolled down the street and watched the live taping of 30 Rock that was going on that night, airing on NBC. And Kim Kardashian came over to this writer-producer to ask if RG3 was single. So
come on,
that brings us all full circle.
Swear to God.
So your RG3 story and my RG3 story and 30 Rock and RedZone is the glue, is the connective tissue. Who knew?
Yes,
but that's a fact.
Indeed.
That's a fact.
Bringing millions together for 12 years.
And it was truly one of the one of the largest pieces of attention and publicity our Rich Eisen podcast ever got. And we had a lot of people on that.
We did.
But good old Jack Burdett came on, diehard Browns fan. And he calls me up the next day. He goes, I think I shouldn't have told you that. Hey, Scott, it's a major achievement.
People got to comb your show. People got to comb your show for the soundbite, the news drop. You guys are, I got 5 screens on my media wall in my house now, right?
Oh.
Obviously, I watch 9 TVs for a living, but I got 5 screens on my media wall.
Dude.
And I always dip into the Rich Eisen show when there's interesting
Scott,
guests on and something could happen.
Scott, you probably tell that to Rome when you're going to be on his show, too.
Yeah.
Come on, Scott.
I got to go. I got Rome in 5 minutes.
I was about to say, I mean, come on now.
No, I'm playing. Rich, I love you, bro.
Right back at you,
you're the
Scott.
original at NFL Network, and I came in about a year and a half after you did. And here we are after all these years.
Hey, man, and congrats. It's an incredible milestone. It's remarkable that your attention span is not been totally destroyed because you're constantly watching 15 screens. You do get some sleep, right? Do you at least have the blue screen glasses? Scott, you must your brain must be on fire looking at all these screens all the time.
The night before, Saturday night, I am so wired. I know, surprising, right, that I get wired, right? Yes. But I am so wired on Saturday night, I can only sleep for about 3 or 4 hours.
That's what I'm saying.
And then, I wake up, game day mornings, first thing that's on, obviously. But then Sunday night, I am dead to the world. I go away.
And the last thing you watched on one screen was 30 Rock. Basically, that's it. That's the last thing you watched on one single screen.
I've got that loaded up on my tablet to go for old episodes. Gets me through an elliptical training session or whatever in the gym.
Scott Hanson, NFL Zone Red host with an on-brand, constant mentioning of NBC shows that can be streamed right here on Peacock. Well done, Scott. Thank you. Appreciate the call.
Tell Grant Tinker I said hi.
There you go. Wow, look at that. It's dropping a white shadow. He's going white shadow. He's going out the door. That's Scott Hanson. Thanks for the call, brother. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.